Welcome back, painters. It's Jennifer, Watercolor Girlfriend. This week we're continuing our painting with our month-long trends theme. It's of the LA Dodgers. Edwin Diaz has been in the news. It's a bit controversial for some. You can read more about it online. And I will put up the videos that we have worked on at the end of this video, and in the description you can find those and check those out after this, or go look at those and then come back. Last week we created this fun watercolor ink painting based off of the Dodgers Stadium, and today we're going to create two pretty abstract paintings based off of the colors from those Dodgers Stadium paintings themselves. We've also been talking a little bit, and it's fun to see them in different we've been talking a little bit about painting and how it can help you feel better when times might be crummy or things might really suck, and you can turn to painting to make you feel better. Remember, this is your time to unwind. You can stop thinking about any of the stressors in your life. Creating art, it can definitely be good for your mental health. You can also fit journaling in, maybe paint a little and then journal, or journal beforehand and then paint to give yourself a place to leave your thoughts and like work through things. And I hope you're having a nice holiday season on top of that. And maybe you're getting in a little more painting this time of year. And we're going to see you in the new year, I hope, and do some new paintings. So let's get started on these. See you in there. So carrying on that theme, and this time we're going to use a different kind of resist. I wanted to use the China marker. I've had this sitting around, can you see, forever. And I finally wanted to give it a try. And again, it's going to be the inspiration. So this is still going to be an abstract piece. God, don't you love that? I love the colors as it goes over the other one. Should do that over here too. Okay, I think we're gonna let that dry some. Oh, maybe we'll do add in a few things quick before we do that. You know, kind of a little more landscapey. It's fun, but still not representational. Okay. And my favorite, some sea salt. See how that goes. And then I do love to use, these are some, I just think they're so fun. And you can just wet those before you color with it if you want. You can dip it into the water, or you can, you know, just drag it around with this. That's wet, you know. So it's a water-soluble crayon. Actually, I think I might use a yellow. And you don't have to do it like I do, obviously. You could just use the only greens. You could just use only blues if you have it. If you have a regular crayon, it's not quite gonna look the same, but I say go for it. See how it does look? Okay, so before we dry it completely, I forgot I wanted to also, I do love to put in some of these. I have a couple of different kinds here. This actually I got from a gal in my neighborhood. I'm gonna add a little more water so it kind of bleeds around and kind of fills in a little. That's a pretty cool color. You could tip the painting if you wanted it to, you know, you could. And we'll see what that looks like when it dries. It's pretty intense right now. I gotta say, after using these, I think the dropper is so much nicer on the different brand, but okay. Now you could also, if this is like too rich for you going right away, you could always try some of this. This always looks cool in there too. See these droppers, I don't know. I hope you can see how that works. And it just kind of, you know, oh, I think part of the problem is there's some thick stuff in there. So I'll have to go at it and get that out, but okay, we're gonna let that dry. Okay, so now it dried nicely and you can see the crystals, what they did, which is always really cool. Sorry, I can't move it very well, but I can get a little closer. I hope that's helps you see it. So I love how you can see the cityscape. And now we're gonna work the salt off a little bit. Now remember, I have my assorted colors and medium, and I can show you a little bit about what I have. I have different colors of this. It's twin. It has a little tip on the end, but it also has like more of a brush marker. It's not really a marker though, it's more of a watercolor. And I have those in a bunch of colors. I got my favorite crayons, which we talked about earlier, and then I have some acrylic markers, and oh, I have another color there, and I've got that, and I've got the trusty gel pen, and then I have some watercolor pencils. Love to use those with some stencils, so I'm gonna actually go to that. Okay. I don't know. You know, sometimes the feeling will come to you and sometimes it won't. Let's put it here. That's cool. And I love how the outline, I hope you can see that, shows some. But I also like to use the letters. Actually, I'm going to do it this way. Sometimes you just don't feel it and you just gotta put the stencil down and just go for it. Just put it somewhere and you'll figure it out along the way. Yeah, there, cool. Okay, I've kind of lost my bigger brush. So I'm using this one today. This is a number 10 round. And I wanted to put in, I do like to make it a bright scene. So right now it's maybe a little lighter than I prefer. I'm just gonna put some more in here. Make it pop a little more. I really like this color though. Or maybe we'll just put it along the edge. That's nice. I want to add a little more here. And sorry, I can see this hair. Sometimes that'll happen from, you know, if you have pets or whatever, or your own. And I'll grab that when it dries a little. Otherwise, might not quite get it out. We could try. There we go. Yeah, super. Okay, see, that's a nice contrast to the fainter yellow. You know, you get a nice pop of color, and you can go over that a number of times with this. Real vibrant. I like that a lot. Yeah, great. Now, do we want more blue? Like darker? We have this. I'm gonna do this here. I always like to. And you can fill that in. That can. Add some more layers. It's nice to, I enjoy the layers. I find that it creates more interest, right, with your painting. But it gives you more depth, more intrigue, like what's going on there, that kind of thing. Yeah, that kind of smooths it together so it's less, it kind of works with what you've got going on. So I might put a little, just a little more in here. Well, that's a little different blue, but I love it. And you can like move that around too. So when it dries, it has a cool look. Let that run into the
the text. Yeah, great. I might even come back later and do that again with the blue. So that looks great. I'm gonna let that dry again. Okay, so now we want to think about what we want to do next. I still think I want more of the blue. Okay, so what do we want to do next? I think I want more blue. I really like this, but I think it's not enough. I'm gonna actually grab some of the liquid. I think it makes it a lot brighter. I wish this liquid came in a darker blue. Now this is nice, but kind of boring for my point of view. No, I don't want to get rid of this detail-y stuff. I don't know if you can see how detail-y that. I really don't want to get rid of that. But I'm not really very attached in the other way, so we'll pull it over here. I still like that color, still want to include that color. We'll probably come back even one more time and go over that again. Now I really love to work in stencils, and this is one of my absolute favorites. So I'm just going to, you know, I have my supplies all picked out. I'm going to grab a color and maybe, oh, I think I'm gonna try that. I don't think I've done that yet. And I'm going to, so it's still a little bit dry. I'm sorry if you can hear my fan. I turned my fan on a little bit, and I've showed you that in other videos. I just have a fan that's blowing right now so that I don't have to always use a hairbrush. See, now it's starting to come off there. Maybe time to retire that piece of tape. Whatever. So I'm gonna turn that off. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so now this has has the tip, and this is a watercolor. So I'm actually gonna, should I go against it? These are the things I think of. Should I go with it? Ooh, I'm gonna go against it. And sometimes I just go for things because why not? This is something for fun. Sometimes you might have to take a deep breath and just go for it, because why, like I said, why the heck not? This is not, you don't have to present this to your boss. You don't have to present this to your teacher. This is for fun. This is also for exploring what this does for your painting. So now we have this, and we either like it or we don't like it. If we like it, we leave it. If we don't like it, we work it in somehow to the painting, which we will likely really like by the end. So something I do enjoy doing, however, with these watercolor, marker things, I do like to bring in a little bit of water then. go over it. Because I like the effect that it gives you. And the fact that maybe it gives it a little less of an intense look. Now, that's just me. You might love the line the way it was. And you should enjoy that. And I like it a little bit more watery. And some of it sometimes will come away, and you can get rid of some of it with, you can blot it. It doesn't have to stay exactly the way it was. I really like this look, and sometimes I don't. A little bit more water. Looks great. That looks nice. Okay, now again, I've mentioned it before, you can turn these, and that can help you. I have been actually going to the side and kind of looking and being like, oh yeah, I would like to put that there. And so I've got some more ideas. We might come back to this. Probably not, I'm gonna put it away. So I have these other stencils that I'd like to use. And what should I use it with? I think I want to use it with a pencil, but maybe a blue one. Oops, I have one here. Now you could use regular watercolor. You could use regular watercolor. You could use regular pencils. But right now I'm just going to use the watercolor pencil because I can do something similar there too. Oh, and yeah, I think I'm going to do blue, and I'm going to just go through right through the middle. Oh, that's bold. It's usually like stay on the thirds. Don't do that kind of shenanigans. I'm even going to go through here. I'm going to do it over here too, but this time I'm going to go up here. I'm not trying to create the exact same painting, right? I don't need two of the same. I don't. Who could? Oops. That's fine. There we go. Yeah, cool. I could even do another. And do all circles. Let's do that. We're gonna put some more in. I love circles and stars and glitter and patterns. Love it, love it. Should I do this one too? Look, see now, I did get a little water on here from something. Oh, see, I love that. Oh yeah, that's great. The artists that make paintings just of circles, love that. Yeah. Okay. Now I'd like to incorporate something here. Ooh, green. Let's see, do I have green? I think this is my favorite green. I'm gonna take a second. Oh, you can't see that. This is my favorite green. As you can see, there's almost none left. I'm going to replenish that. I'm pretty sure that's this one. I really need to label them, don't I? I bet you that's that one. Let's give that a try. So this is from these. I just get that wet in my water, and then I just yep, that's the one. I don't think that's gonna be enough. I'm gonna have to put some more in there, and a little water will help. So I've been wanting to introduce like more discussion about stuff. Like, how's your day going? Did you have a nice week? Did you do something to make your week a little more fun? Did you just kind of do everyday stuff? I do like to come off the page there. Oh, that's looking great. You know, I hope you're coming here to explore watercolors, and I'm guessing that's why you're here. Explore watercolors, but also explore creating abstracts, or we also do I'll make sure you can see what I'm doing here. Sorry if my hand gets in the way. We also do sketching. And they can both completely bring you different, feelings. Like this is more loose and just about having fun and play. And while the other one isn't, it kind of works a different area of your creativity, where you might be recording something special in your life, working on getting better at something, working on your skills, and here we're working on a different skill. But mostly when you come here, I want you to be able to breathe at the end of a busy, maybe stressful day. Things have been a little nutty, and I think it's really important that you also have this kind of time in your life. So I try to set this up for Saturdays. So now, I do a lot of the same things in many of my paintings. You've probably seen, if you've looked at some of the other videos. I can't help it. I love to do those things, and until I hate doing those things, I'm not gonna stop doing those things. And I don't know, maybe if you guys complain about it, but I think that's fun. So I'm going to keep doing those kinds of things, and some people love wildlife paintings of deer, and some people like to make circles. So this isn't about, pleasing a calendar company or whatever. Okay, I'm gonna sharpen my next watercolor pencil. They can get dull pretty quick, and I'm sure they're pretty soft. Ooh, lovely. Except look at all that wasted. Do I have to save that forever and make something out of it? Maybe. All right, so this is dry, right? And I'm just gonna try something. Oh, that's nice. So honestly, I think I want you to take this kind of as, while it's fun, it's like 20 or 30 minutes of meditation where you can tune out of things that stress you out and let your brain recover. Your body recover. Well, this is still a little damp, so it kind of will dig in. So maybe I just leave that one. I'm just gonna fart around here and do things that I think look interesting. Even my hand is still a little moist so I should try not to. Maybe put my hand into this is about time for you. Maybe shut the door, put on some fun music. Actually, what I do is I keep my earbuds in, so I can also listen to music when I want, even while I'm chatting with you. And it keeps things upbeat, but relaxed. Now I could go over these. I don't know that I need to with water again like I did with these. But it's really coming together nicely. I think I'm actually going to, getting things all wet with my hands. I don't see enough of this crayon. I think I'm going to work a little more of that in. Maybe I should try a light one, and you just dip it in water. if it's, you know, if your thing isn't wet enough. Oh, that's nice. Now, you don't have to do any of this while I'm doing it. You could make squares. You could make circles with this. You could, you know, color in a block. I'm really just here maybe as your muse to encourage you to do something creative, right? Yeah, great. I like that. So next I would like to incorporate, oopsie. It's not here. I love to work with this marker. I guess ink pen, ink. It's almost like a gel pen, but it's not really marketed like that. And I like it better than a lot of the other black ink pens, like a Sharpie. It's thicker, even the ultra fine point, and it just isn't the same. It's more markery, and gel is different, and that's kind of what this is. So I really should find some more that I like. These, you know, getting a hold of these also isn't always easy. Okay, so I'm actually gonna let this dry a lot more thoroughly, and then I'm gonna come back and do a little bit more. I'm gonna let it dry so that I can, oh, you know, this is dry. I'm gonna putter with this a little, and because I really like that color, but I don't think it's coming out enough. And what you could do, I'm gonna add some of this, see if I can brighten what's going on, but not, it's kind of, just think it could be better. And then it also kind of repeats, or does repeat, in the piece, which is always a good design. This is from when I did my, so I think there might be still a smidge of salt right here. Let's see. All right. So remember, this is you time. Having fun, doing things you enjoy. Wondering if you put it on your calendar. It's got a little yucco here, and I don't want that to get in my thing. Here we go. I am going to, I'm just going to use my rag here. I'm going to pick that up. That'll help clean that up a little bit, and we can come back later. I don't know what that is. Schmutz. And get the schmutz off. See? It's a bit of the watercolor pencil from when I was hastily sharpening it right over my painting. Oh my goodness. The tragedy. All right. Now, I guess you would call this a little bit muddy, and it doesn't bother me. It's fine with me. But I will come back later and let this thoroughly dry, and then come back with some other color and fill that in, or leave it. I like that too, you know? And so now I also turn my head so that this is more on the top, and I'm looking at this is like the bottom, to see if I kind of like how that looks, and I absolutely do. I'm really enjoying it. I like how these pop out, how I'm, you know, looking at everything. Okay, so let's let this dry and come back. Or use your hair dryer and pop right back over. Okay, I couldn't wait. It's still a little damp here, but that's all right. Yeah, that's it. also love to use the Uniball version in white. It really helps to have them very dry with this one. Now that you've made this one or watched and are ready to make your own, I recommend you use your creativity to try to come up with your own style. Even though I use dots, a lot of people use dots. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people use this type of Uniball pen or they wouldn't make them. But try to use, you're a smart, creative person. You don't have to completely copy anybody to have a nice painting or to have a good experience. Make it your own, something you can be proud of. You know, you can always copy what others are doing, but try to incorporate whatever you copy into your own style of piece, if that makes any sense. Like, okay, maybe I used 5 circles. Maybe you want to use 1 big circle. Do you know what I'm saying? So, learn, mimic, I guess they say, but don't do exactly what I did, or you're just gonna have the exact same thing. And that's not really what creativity has to be, but you know, I'm not trying to give you a lecture either. Okay, I think I'm done. I think this has turned out really nice. I really like it. What do you guys think? Again, just to recap, we did the LA Dodgers, specifically Diaz is in the news right now. It's something trending that we were doing this month, doing a trend. You could pick whatever trend you wanted. Try to keep it a peaceful one for now, or working through something that's more peaceful for you to get to a peaceful place, if that makes sense, and incorporating that into a variety of different paintings. So this one was the cityscape, which I took the idea from the cityscape that I did last week of that you can see from Dodger Stadium, and then incorporated that, and then I used the LA, right, the logo from there, which just kind of moves into and it looks like shapes now, right? And stripes, so the stripes kind of mimic what is going on in their uniforms. And then the color scheme that I chose was actually from the field that they play on. So I didn't do their colors that they choose for their uniforms and all their marketing and stuff. That's not their colors. I chose a different realm, but still wanted to tie it into that theme. Have a fantastic week, and hold on to these during the week if you have a tough week. Remember the fun that you had on this Saturday or Sunday if you're working on it. Remember the creativity and the colors and the shapes and stuff that you put into this to bring you a smile when you might have a tough time during the week or hear something rough and tough. Come back to this. Focus on this. Okay, it was great painting with you. Bye.